What's up, everybody? So we're gonna go into a little story time about my first days in trucking, and we're gonna talk about the good and the bad. Because I see a lot of videos out there where a lot of you guys are talking about 2 weeks in, I'm quitting trucking. 3 weeks in, I'm quitting trucking. The pay is this, the pay is that. You know, you just can't hack it. That's point blank period. So I'm gonna tell you my experience with it when I first started. Back in 2012, I got my CDL license. Started truck driving school, and straight out the rip, I thought I was gonna be making bank, working on a big rig, trying to find jobs that were gonna be paying that good money. Right? I'm 20 years old. I'm gonna be making bank. So I graduate out of my CDL school, start looking for a job with the job placement program that they had installed. They come across a job with Canada Dry that was in my hometown. So went ahead, applied for them, got the gig. I asked for what the pay was going to be, and at the time, $400 a week. Right? Um, Thinking about it now is just hilarious. Took the job, and I was hoping that maybe the pay increase will go up. We'll be making more money. But from the look of the other guys that's been there for a while, when I first started, yeah, it was no pay increase, and the way they were talking, that wasn't going to happen. So this truck wasn't a combination truck. It was a 20 foot slider bay truck. Where the side of the truck has doors that slide up and down, and I was able to pull the cans and bottles of beverages out of the side of the truck and put them onto a hand cart, slide them into a store, or be able to um, bring them into the back of like a Walmart or a grocery store, convenience stores. I was doing that type of job. Um, Lasted for about, I want to say, the summer, so 2 months. One of the heat hours, remember like quite vivid that it was super hot. Truck had no AC in it. Windows were like the rotator windows. You had to rotate them down with your hand, manually rotate them down. I mean, it was scorching hot that summer, man. I lost so much water weight. I was ripped and shredded, bringing in those bottles and cans. And I mean, after 2 months, I'm like, yeah, I'm over this, right? Just like some of you guys are saying right now, I'm over this. It's over. It's done. It's a wrap. Um, After that, I got me a gig driving cement trucks, where it was actually pump cement, a cement pump truck, where the cement barrel trucks come up, pour the cement into the hopper, and I have a remote control, and I control the hose, and someone's holding it at the end to pour foundations or basements, that type of job, which was a little bit better. Wasn't as long and rough of days. The pay, I believe, was like somewhere around like $150 a day. So, I was averaging out a little bit better. That gig didn't last too much. It was seasonal. And during that time, I wanted something full time. So, I went into construction to see if I was able to use my CDL license, and that didn't end up panning out how I wanted to be. So, for a year, I was basically looking for a big rig job. But I was working construction, but looking for something that I could use my CDL license full time, driving big rigs. Came across US Express, didn't really have the experience that I needed to work for some of the other companies that um, wanted to work you local and pay more and do all these other things. So you know what? I sacrificed my time to gain that experience. But before I started that job, I had put money to the side, somewhere around $11,000, to where I was able to like have in my savings account in case something happens on the road. I guess I was able to, get myself out of a pinch. So, um, started up with US Express with a trainer, and like I said before, experience. I was there for the experience. And first week of orientation, questions started coming up with other drivers. How long do we have to train for? 4 weeks? We're only going to be making how much money? I can't go home when? Dropping out like flies. Dropping out, dropping out, dropping out. During that time, I was only getting paid, I believe, 32 cents a mile, 35 cents a mile, something like that. Ended up going back to what I was making at Canada Job, $400 a week. I took the gig that was Northeast Regional, so I was home every Friday, but I could stay out for 2 weeks if I wanted to. I stayed out for 2 weeks, I'll be able to make $500 the first week, $800 the next week, because I was able to stay out long. So I sacrificed that little bit of time to make that little bit of extra money, um, to do what I needed to do. But during the training time, I remember my trainer would ask me, "Yo, why don't you complain?" I said, "I put money to the side so I could be able to have money and not depend on my paychecks. I'm just chilling." And it was like a light bulb went off in his head. And he was like, "Oh, okay, that's why I kind of don't complain like the other drivers do, or the other trainers do. A lot of these guys depend on that paycheck. They don't put money to the side. You don't save money. You don't do what you need to do. Everything is in promise. Just because you got a nice little CDL license, those paychecks aren't promised." And like I said, I see a lot of you guys talking about the pay this week and this job. Week 1, how are the paychecks for this company? Week 2, how are the paychecks for this company? Week 3, how are the paychecks for that company? I quit. You just ain't made for it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're sacrificing your time away from your family, friends, that sweet love you get back at home when you want to cuddle at night, every night with your girl. You don't get that every day out here on the road. You're going to have to work for them cuddles. You're going to have to work for that sweet love when you get back home. You know what I mean? It's a different game out here. So that was how I started off. First year in trucking was just straight experience. Got that 1 year OTR over the road. You can't take that away from me. Can't nobody take that time away from me. I put in my time. 1 year over the road. I could go to companies and tell you, listen, I got 1 year over the road. I did a couple city runs in the Bronx, Brooklyn. Listen, that's a year's worth of city driving, dog. You hear me? You can't take that off your resume. What they gonna tell you? I put in my time. So I got in once I was done with my year over the road. Got a local gig delivering in New York. I put in my 6 years driving New York City, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens, the Bronx, Long Island, New Jersey, Philly. I could drive anywhere in the world if I'm driving in those places, man. Places that was made for carts and buggies. Horses and buggies, carts, all that. Not for trucks. But making it happen, right? Got my 6 years under the belt. Now I'm making $72,000 after my first first year was going from $400 a week to $800 a week, making what? I think my first year trucking was like $35,000 a year. Second year, I'm
In
making
2 miles, take exit 7 onto New York, Route 408, and Geneseo, toward New York, Route 63.
I'm making $72,000 a year. So that was a little bit of a pay increase. Well, that was double the pay increase. That was a double of what I was making before. Double and some. And I'm 20, how old was I? I'm 22 at the time. So I'm chilling, having fun, going on vacations, making a good time out of it. And then I decided to buy my own truck, thinking it's going to be all sweet and easy. Nah. First year, I made the most money I've ever made in my life, $200,000. After that, my truck broke down for 7 months because of the COVID pandemic. I wasn't able to get parts as easily as it was in the past. So the part that I needed was $10,000, and it wasn't in stock. So I had to wait 6 or 7 months for them to make it, for me to be able to get back on the road. And these are those times where it's like, it's going to make you or break you. I could have quit and said, I'm going to do something different. It's just too much for me. But you know what? I went ahead and grinded it out with another company, made my money, made my truck payments.
Use the right lane to take exit 7 onto New York, Route 408, and Geneseo, toward New York, Route 63.
And I was able to start doing what I need to do again in that case. So, times aren't always going to be sweet and easy. You're going
Take the exit.
to have rough times. You're going to have easy times. But if you made
The next stop sign, turn right.
But if you made for this game, then you should be able to hack it out. Don't quit after just one bad paycheck. Don't quit after one bad year. Don't quit.
At the stop sign, use the right lane to turn onto Geneseo Mount Morris Road.
You got to stick it out. You got to make it out during these hard times. These hard times make hard men.
Turn right, then continue onto Geneseo Mount Morris Road.
Soft times make soft men. And if you put in your time, you should be able to do what you need to do in this game. It's never gonna anything you do in life that's easy is gonna have its time when it's hard. So I just wanted to share my past experiences because I grinded very, very hard to get where I needed to be. I'm back in my truck to where I'm pushing it, driving, and doing what I need to do. And who knows, man? Everything is a promise. Today I'm driving, but tomorrow I may be not able to drive the truck anymore because something happened. Knock on wood. And then guess what? I'm gonna have to buy another truck. I'm gonna have to grind harder to get into something better. So this is what you gotta do as a trucker. This game is not easy. So I want everybody out there that's in this game to stay blessed, stay hard working, think about your family, think about your kids, and think about what you need to do. Because that's what counts. Alright? No quitting, no crying is gonna make things better. But enduring, grinding will bring you closer to your goals. Alright? So stay blessed, everybody. Be safe out there on the road. Especially to the Operators Truck Club. Subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think about my story. If you got something similar that happened to you or somebody you know, maybe your father, your brother, or family member, they still pushing and they're making it happen, and then them hard times are rough, but nowadays I bet you they got a boat or they got some land, and they got a house, and they chilling. Maybe wife not working. Listen, whatever makes you happy and your goals are is what you should be striving for. All right. So peace, everybody. Love.